Alright, this is going to be my spoiler filled review for Captain America Brave New World in theaters now. I did do a non spoiler review, which you guys can check out if you guys didn't want to see anything. But if you guys have not seen the film, please stop watching as we are going to dive into spoilers and break it down. Starting with, or starting now, so please stop, please stop. Uh, Starting with the Marvel intro, which was very interesting. I loved it. I know everyone's I don't know how everyone's feeling about it, but I thought it was cool that it was just something different. But they weren't using the traditional Marvel fanfare that we're all accustomed to and know and love. Sure, they've kind of changed the music in the past and stuff like I think maybe altered the color maybe or something once or twice, but they really did do it differently for this film. I mean, I thought it worked for the movie and the theme and the genre it was trying to play with or play in. I liked it. I had no issues with the Marvel intro. Again, I liked that it was trying to be different. Sam Wilson as Captain America, I thought again was my favorite aspect of the film going in. He really is Captain America to me, and I've loved that character. I've loved that character for ever since he showed up in Winter Soldier. It's been one of my favorites for sure. I think one of the biggest topics of this film was whether or not he should take the super serum, and I've never thought that Sam Wilson should take the super serum. I feel like that's what makes Sam Wilson Sam Wilson. That's what makes his Captain America different. I feel like he's certainly in this movie more comparable to like an Iron Man or Batman. He's really utilizing his suit and his tech and his brain. And he's not as much of a fighter as I feel like the rest of the Avengers crew, but that's just what I that's just me, that's what I think. Really do love his new suit that the Wakandans made for him, and just getting to see him utilize the wings with the shield is a really cool new like action perspective that we haven't seen as much before. I mean, a little bit in the show Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I loved, but again, that's what makes the action different from traditional Captain America or Steve Rogers Captain America, which I'm really enjoying, and I'm excited to see more of in the future. Fighting different characters and stuff. I think I've seen some people just complain a lot about him not taking the super serum though, which again I don't think he needs it. Like well, then why aren't you guys pushing for Hawkeye or Black Widow to take us, or even Iron Man to take a super serum as well? Like let them be. Let them be. That's kind of what makes them who they are. Thaddeus Ross, played by um, Harrison Ford, wonderful, wonderful job as Red Hulk as well. The one thing I had an issue with was that the trailers showed maybe too much of Red Hulk. And it wasn't even that. It was like, I didn't know that that was the climax of the film, the climatic action sequence. And the promotions, the merchandise, everything just built around that scene so much that I kind of wish that scene was in the middle of the movie rather than the climax. And I think in the end, I just wanted more. I wish, again, I just wanted a different climax that we hadn't seen in the trailer so much, which they just kept showing us basically the whole thing. It felt like, if it wasn't for that, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. That scene, and maybe after like a few months go by and rewatch it. Well, I'm probably gonna rewatch it before that, but like, I think on my second viewing, I'll probably enjoy the movie more, knowing that that's the climax. You know what I mean? But anyways, I just wanted more Red Hulk. It was not enough, but that's just me. Joaquin Torres as Falcon, I thought did a wonderful job. I want to see more of him. And then, of course, we at the end we get to see that Captain America wants to recruit Joaquin Torres for the Avengers, which we'll talk more about the Avengers in a second. But I can't wait for that. The Avengers certainly need a Falcon. Isaiah Bradley, a wonderful job. As my girlfriend pointed out, it was kind of upsetting that he was in jail again the whole time for most of the movie. Certainly an emotional hook and one of my favorite aspects of the film, and just getting to see Isaiah Bradley again was wonderful. But I wish he had more to do, or maybe he could have teamed up on a mission with Cap, would have been awesome. I wanted to see Eli Bradley, played by, what's his name? Elijah Richardson, because it felt like they were kind of building him up to be the Patriot for like the Young Avengers. It'd be cool if they were saving him for something else like the Young Avengers, but I would think it would have been cool to see him as well. And I don't think that would have taken away from anything. I mean, yeah, they have a lot of characters in this movie, but I feel like if you're bringing in Isaiah Bradley, you could have brought in Eli too, but that's just me. Ruth Bat-Seraph, played by, what is her name? Shira Haas. I thought did a decent job, but again, like I talked about this in my non-spoiler review. She didn't have that much to do. I thought she was badass and cool, but that's about it. We don't really get to know her at all. So yeah, it would have been nice to have gotten a little more for her. Thinking about it, like the movie didn't feel that long. I feel like they could have squeezed in just a little bit more, and I would have been there for it personally. Same with Sidewinder. I could have seen a little bit more of Sidewinder, played by Giancarlo Esposito, who did a great job. But again, it just felt there wasn't enough time for some of these characters, maybe, but not enough for me to hate the movie. I just wanted more. Samuel Stearns, aka the leader, played by Tim Blake Nelson, looked fascinatingly gross, but it was good for the character he's playing. Did such a great job. I liked his whole plan of kind of having Harrison take the pills and becoming Red Hulk. Very fun, scary villain. I liked his style. Really cool. I think he's a worthy foe, basically. I'm excited to see more of him and see how he helps kind of orchestrate some of the chaos that we're going to see in the future, which I'm excited for. Speaking of the future, Adamantium, I'm very curious as to how that's going to have its play in the MCU, its future. I like that it's been a talking point, a political point, and something that they're fighting over, the countries. It's very relatable and relevant to many things that we have in real life. And that's what I love about the movie, is that the entire movie feels very relevant and relatable in those senses. Speaking of which, again, with the super serum, Sam Wilson not taking the super serum is what makes him more relatable, and like him having broken bones is like so human, and that's again what makes him different from the traditional Captain America that we all know and love. Anyways, back to Adamantium. Well, we can skip over Adamantium. We kind of talked about that already. Bucky Barnes. That was a cameo. I should have known it was coming, but I didn't, and I was glad I didn't because it just caught me off guard. I kept wondering if they were going to do like a Steve Rogers cameo, but I didn't really want them to because I feel like it would take away from Sam Wilson. And when I saw Bucky Barnes, it helped me realize like that's the perfect one. That's the perfect one to put in the movie, especially having just done their show together and their relationship, and we just saw Chris Evans in Deadpool and Wolverine. They didn't need to do a Steve Rogers thing. I'm so glad that they did Bucky Barnes, and it was such a sweet moment and funny moment and everything moment that you could have wanted for them to have. Very, very sweet, and I thoroughly enjoyed getting to see him. And it gets me more excited for Thunderbolts. I can't wait for that. Okay, so now we can talk about the Avengers, which Thaddeus Ross, Harrison Ford asks Sam Wilson's character to rebuild, although it would have to be, under the president's watch, basically. Although I'm not really sure about the fate of his presidency now after what happened with Red Hulk. But maybe that gives more wiggle room for the Avengers and Sam Wilson, which, again, he is starting to recruit Joaquin Torres, which I cannot wait for, and who knows who else he's going to recruit. But that's what we all want, right? Is getting to see the Avengers getting rebuilt in time for our 2 upcoming movies, which they're already filming, or about to film, sorry. But the actors are there doing prep work, I believe, in London, for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Which, regardless, I cannot wait for. Little end cameo, though, with Thaddeus Ross's daughter, Betty Ross, played by Liv Tyler, who we haven't gotten to see since the 2008 Incredible Hulk, which is pretty incredible. It did feel a little bit like a sequel to Incredible Hulk, but not too much. I enjoyed the amount that it did, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I like that, because we haven't really gotten to acknowledge that film since then, essentially, or maybe, it just hasn't been acknowledged in so long. It was nice to feel some of the good moments about that movie again, so I enjoyed that. The credit song I loved with by Kendrick Lamar. I think it's called I don't think they've released it quite yet, but we'll certainly be bumping that when that comes out. The post-credit scene, which there's only one, the end credit, Sam Wilson comes up to the leader, who warns him about what he's seen, kind of his future visions of the others, which I can't help but think is a reference to Secret Wars. So I'm intrigued. I'm excited. Could be wrong. If you guys have other theories, put them down below. But that's just kind of what I've been hearing. But I cannot wait. This movie just gets me excited for the future, and I had a blast watching it. So I hope you guys did too. Again, I know it's been having a lot of mixed reviews, but I personally really enjoyed this film, and I hope you guys did too. And thank you guys so much for watching. Would love to hear what you guys thought. Let me know down below. And stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.